One, two, three, One, two, three. The Bear Trap Podcast. Here we like to talk about music news.
What is up? What is up? This is your guy Bear for the Bear Trap Podcast, and we back. We back like we never left, ladies and gents. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to everybody for all the support, man. I've just been getting a lot of messages, still a lot of encouragement, man. I thank y'all, man. I really thank y'all, man, for the love y'all been sharing, man. I just want to say that off the top, man. You know, shout out to all the other podcasters. One podcaster in particular that I haven't shouted out yet is my guy. My guy. How you do? How you shout out everybody and don't shout out your peoples, man? My dude Seuss. Icing on the Cake podcast, man. I love you, brother, and I appreciate everything you taught me. My guy taught me a whole bunch of stuff about podcasting, and I was remiss in the first two episodes by not shouting my guy out. Overall, good brother. I don't know who don't like him or who don't love him or whatever y'all had going on. It's good. You know, he's a good guy, and he's loved by many, hardworking black men out here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Seuss. You didn't ask me. He didn't ask me. He didn't ask me to shout him out, but you know, what's understood ain't gotta be said. You feel what I'm saying? So, shout out to my dude Seuss, man. Shout out to McGee, man, Katie McGee, Sacramento, man, 360 Radio, for having me on their show. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to all the rest of the people doing the podcasting. And today, this is a different show, different kind of show today. I was talking to one of my constituents, one of my mentors, some of the people that I talk to from time to time. And they said, bro, you just started the podcast. You just jumped off the porch, man, and start talking about, what you want to talk about. The people don't even know you. I said, you know what? You are right. You are correct. Sometimes people bring you information and they talk to you and they tell you stuff, and you ain't got to be the person that's right all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you right a lot of times, but, they got me. They said, look, bro, why don't you start off by introducing yourself? How about that? Let's do that. Excuse me. Let's do that. I said, okay, I'll introduce myself. Excuse me, y'all. I'll introduce myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're going to do today, man. I don't like doing that, because a lot of times, it can get misunderstood, like as if you tooting your own horn, or, you know, popping it too tough. But, my name is Billboard Bear. I done cut the billboard, just Bear. I got to get back to the basics. My first album was called, you know what I'm saying, The Bare Necessities. So let's get back to the basics. Bear. I'm dropping the billboard. So this is a public service announcement. I'm dropping the billboard. I'll still be Billboard Bear, but I'm dropping it. I'm informally dropping that. Let's get back to the basics, man. That's what got me here, is just the basics. I'm the same dude. So we're going to just, for now, we're just going to sidebar that. And yeah, man, I'm gonna talk about me today. If you haven't had a chance, man, make sure you like and subscribe on the channel, because we're gonna get into it just like we do all the time. Yeah, you know what I mean. If you new to my channel, if you're new to me, and you just came across it, man, I'm an awesome guy. You know what I'm saying? If I do say so myself, you know what I'm saying. I'm a singer, songwriter, music producer. I play a few instruments. Um, I'm a lover. You know what I'm saying? I'm a daddy. You know what I mean? Um, I'm a hard worker. I've been on my same job for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So even in between music and dropping albums and going on tour and stuff, I managed to keep my job. I don't know how. The grace of God Himself helped me to keep my job in the middle of pursuing music and entertainment and stuff like that. So I'm blessed in that way. Um, yeah, man, I love art. I love jazz. I love all different types of music. I like DJing. I like DJs. Like how else you gonna get the music unless the DJ play it for you? So I love DJing. I love DJs. And I'm a well loved, well liked person, bro. Like I really feel that. Like a lot of people love me, and you know, my cousin called me Care Bear, Care Bear. You know what I'm saying? That may be the name of my next album, Care Bear. Just straight like that. We going there, man. We really gonna go there, man. And I ain't taking no shorts, man. I'm going there. I wear these glasses all the time. I wear this hat all the time. Just as a disguise. Put on a disguise, and just pop, pop your stuff, man, behind the shades, And I've been wearing shades forever. You know, it's part of what I like. I like to put on some shades and a hat and just, incognito, just walk right through. You don't even know I'm there, man. I like that. I'm not an attention type, grabbing type person. Um, Even to this day, man, I like to be in the background. And it's taking so much out of me to get in the front of this camera, man, every week. But I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it with y'all. I'm doing it for y'all. I'm doing it for myself, but I'm gonna keep on doing it, man. Everything we do, we ain't gotta like it, and it ain't gotta feel good, but it gotta get done. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot of marketing. It's a lot of different things that I'm gonna be bringing to you guys before, the general public, as far as music, and I'm gonna be taking y'all behind the scenes. But back on me, um, when I first started doing music, this ain't gonna be disclaimer. I ain't going too far with this. I give y'all, what I mean, a small synopsis. If I'm saying it right. Just a snapshot, because man, my life feel like it's been a movie, man. And it's crazy. You might see me in flip flops at the grocery store. You might see me somewhere with my kids, and that don't tell the whole story. Like, you know what I mean? And the story is deep. You know what I'm saying? Even if I was watching my movie, I would love the movie, man. Not for all the highs, but for some of the lows too. Like, I've had some lows, you know, and it wouldn't be a good movie without no lows, but I've had some lows too. But what people know me for is music. People know me for being an R&B singer, and being a person moving around in the entertainment, space in my area, and then different parts of the country and other countries. And it's weird because if you went to high school with me, or if you see me, that's all you know me for. Like, I was an athlete too. I was a top ranked football player, in my heyday through high school and into college. Um, and like I told my son, I said, man, my son was like, Dad, you didn't even go to college. I said, yes, I did, son. I didn't finish. You know what I'm saying? But I will. I'm gonna go back and get my last 2 semesters or 3 semesters I need to get my associate. But I went to college. And I just played football, you know what I'm saying, all through high school, and played music. Like a little bit of, a little bit about how I made it. I'm from Stockton, California. All right. If a lot of my friends and family will see this and be like, "We know you from Stockton," but I'm talking to all the people that don't know me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I am an average dude, like, you know what I'm saying. But at the same time, I have an unaverage type of story. Like, I was supposed to be dead or in jail, considering the statistics. Considering where I grew up and what I grew up around. That's what makes me unique. That's what keeps me grateful and humble. I'm supposed to be gone, man. Like, all my family was gangbangers and into different, you know, different stuff. And just like, every other family, but God bless me, man. He really like kept his hand on my life, man, and the higher power, kept his hand on my life and allowed me to see some things that people will never see in their lifetime, man. And I'm ever so grateful. Every chance I get, I thank God for that, man. And just growing up, I grew up around a real musical family. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother sang all the time. I'm talking about singing. My mother sings and sang all the time. Every get together, they sing before we pray. You know what I mean? Before we hold hands, my grandma starts singing. You know what I mean? She'll look at you, tell you, take your note, and start singing when we hold hands before we pray. You know what I'm saying? I come from a family like that. I'm originally from Oklahoma, so I'm a Okie. That's right. But I grew up in Sacramento in my younger years, and then moved to Stockton. You know what I'm saying? We moved to Stockton because it was getting crazy in Sac, so we moved to Stockton. And when I even before I got to Stockton, my family had music instruments everywhere. Always playing music, always a drum set up. It was like part of the garage. The instruments were part of the garage. Every family get together, full bands, full bands playing the music, jamming though. I'm talking about microphones, everything. And I didn't know I was in an unusual situation, but I thought everybody had a whole band in their garage. So, in between the parties and the different stuff, I would get on the instruments and play. And I had uncles that were touring musicians and stuff like that. They would show me stuff on the guitars. And, my uncle always had a full recording studio in his room right next to his bed forever. Both of my uncles had full recording studios growing up. And so I never really was even into it like that. I was just fiddling, and just watching them do music and stuff like that. And, over time, the music bug got me, man. And I was touring in high school, like with my, high school, ninth grade, I was on tour. Like, funny story. You might know me now, the way I do music now and stuff like that. But the very first tour I went on, I was there to carry the bags. Yes, indeed. Billboard Bear was a roadie. It's called a roadie. You know what I'm saying? My very first year in high school, because I wanted to go. They was leaving. They was going somewhere dope. We went to in high school. We went to Texas. We was in Texas for 2 weeks, and the onlyest way that I can go is if I was a roadie. I wasn't quite good enough on the instruments yet because it was like my second, third year playing, and this was a world class jazz band. In high school, my high school happened to be one of those schools, man, that just pumped out talent. I'm talking about world class talent. Like we would go to international jazz competitions and smash. Like we would go anywhere and play, and we're playing standards. Chick Corea. We playing real standard jazz, sight reading, all that different type of stuff. So I'm a trained musician. I could have went to music school and just pursued it in that way, but I got ornery, was chasing girls and got a little ornery. You know what I mean? I could have went to college for football. Wasn't focused. Chasing girls still. And when I look back, I'm like, man, I could have made enough money to pay for all the studios, all the sessions, I could have paid for everything if I would have just went on and played. My dad said, man, you stupid. What are you doing? You can get twice as amount of women. You want to sing, man? You better go get that bag. What's wrong with you, boy? And I just wanted to sing, man, and it worked out. It worked out. I wouldn't trade it. You know, but that's high school through high school, and I don't know. I was a likable person, man. I'm still a likable person. I'm a likable person, man, and I enjoy myself wherever I go. Um, my first album was called "The Bare Necessities." That's what really, really kicked me off in my own personal music journey. But even before that, I was a background singer. My very first serious gig was a background singer for a group called Black Alicious. It was a conscious hip hop group. Yes, conscious hip hop is an actual genre where people rap about more than just killing and shooting and ass shaking and all that different kind of stuff. They talk about, emotions. They talk about political issues. They talk about other stuff. All the stuff these rappers right now ain't talking about, they talk about. real life. You know what I mean? They talk about elevation, talk about mental. You know, they talk about consciousness, being conscious, being aware of yourself, being aware of your surroundings, and you know, hopefully being positive, being a positive impact on your surroundings. And the people I was with, you know, during that time, I skipped the whole time period, but that's okay. During that time of touring, I learned so much, man. I mean, coincidentally, I messed up that situation myself, being small minded and having a lack of vision. And and listening to women in my ear telling me some local stuff when I'm dealing with an international situation, like having a local mindset. You know, I was getting paid to travel the world. So what am I complaining about, right? So, I I just put myself in a bad position there and, you know, ended up not being able to tour with them no more because it was just ego. Probably just ego, you know. But I love my brothers, man, and that took me out on tour and just kind of showed me the ropes. They didn't let me get in trouble. You know what I mean? They didn't let me get caught up out there on the road. It's when you say the road, I mean all of United States, London, Spain, Germany, all of Europe, a few places. You know what I'm saying? Iceland, like it was insane. I was living out of bag for a couple years, just years, and I've seen so many places, man. I've been to New York so many times, been all over the country, and I'm grateful. You know, I'm grateful to Chief Excel, the Gifted Gab, Latif, the True Speaker. You know, them brothers really took me in and taught me a lot of what I know. Cause it's like, bro, when somebody put you under their wing, take you under their wing, and show you some stuff, everything else it looked different. The whole world looked different. Like my whole mindset, and I didn't know I didn't know how big they were, and what they were accomplishing. You know what I'm saying? As young black males out here, they was carving away, you know, for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. Um, Even locally, man, even locally, I came up doing music, with two brothers, well, a couple of brothers, um, Teak and Dijon. Those my aces and deuces, my brothers, man. We went through high school together, all the way out after college, all that. We just been brothers, man. They produce and engineer all my music. I probably wouldn't be Bear without them, because they put in a lot of efforts. Like Teak Underdo, the beatsmith, has went on to produce major records for major R&B, major hip hop artists, and the list is getting longer every year. You know what I mean? And D's right there, right next to him, mixing and mastering and busting down projects and stuff. And so, shout out to y'all brothers. I love you. Yeah, we working on a new album right now. Don't play. You know what I mean? I just got a beat pack that's insane. I don't even know where to start because it's so much fire, you know. And yeah, man. And I got a few questions from a few people. They're like, why do a podcast? Everybody doing a podcast. Why are you doing a podcast, bro? Like, what are you doing? Really, I'm just opening up myself and like even this particular show, show number 3, it's specifically just to introduce myself to people, introduce myself to my fans, and actually just talk to people, talk to where you can get my personality. A lot of times people want you to be their fan and you haven't even had a chance to meet that person. You hearing their music and you meeting them through their music, listening to their music, but that music was made by a mind, by a person, that has a personality. Like, I want my fans and my people, you know, to rock with me, the person. You know what I mean? That's the real way. Like rock with the person because he's solid. Like, you know what I mean? He's a solid dude and I like the way he think. Rock with somebody for that. Like it ain't about cloud or trendy music or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? People will still come to your show when you get old. You know what I mean? Like right now, I got some diehard fans in London. Shout out to London. They've been rocking with me for 20 years plus, and flying me out there to do shows and, all over London and really, really tapping in to DJs. They call me, periodically check on me, you know what I mean, and create opportunities for me. Like a lot of times I rarely perform in my city. Like I rarely perform in my area. Like I'm always overseas performing. I'm always somewhere else performing. And it's crazy how that works out, bro. Like you hardly can do karaoke in your own city, but get flew out, to a whole different country to do music. And it's crazy, like getting, getting paid handsomely, to sing your music to people that appreciate it in a whole totally different place. So if you ain't popping in your city, it don't matter, man. It don't matter. Like it don't matter who don't like you. They don't matter. Like just find the people that do like you and cater to them. That's what I learned. If it means I gotta fly to the other side or wherever to put on a show, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it for the people that rock with me, that love me, and I'm gonna keep showing up. I'm gonna keep pulling up. I'm gonna keep recording music for the people that, that rock with me, you know. And I've been real modest. I've been modest the past few years. I'm trying to get out of that, man. I'm really trying to get out of that. Like I had a big head in the past and it got me in some bad situations and I messed up a lot of stuff. But, nowadays it's like I'm getting old. I don't have the energy to play small. I don't have the time actually to play small. So I'm playing big, man. I feel crazy telling people how I want to do my shows. I need a lighting guy. I need a sound guy. Why not, man? Why not? You know, do a show with a karaoke box, man. What is you doing, man? You know, doing playing small. Like I ain't got nothing to say to nobody about nothing about the way they do whatever it is they do with these shows and all this stuff, man. I'm like, man, get it how you live. There's nothing wrong with that. There's that is actually the way to do it. Don't make no excuse, just get to it. I feel that. I feel that. But man, I've been doing this a long time. And it's like I want to demand a certain level of excellence for the people that support me. And they got nothing to do with clout or putting on. But I'm holding myself to a certain level for the people that love me, man. The people that support me, I do it for them. I could care less about being famous. You know what I mean? It would be nice to be wealthy, keyword wealthy, but who cares? As long as my heart is full, like, you know what I'm saying? As long as, my purpose is fulfilled, I ain't tripping. God takes care of me daily. So what do I have to worry about? All I got to do is focus in on what I was here to put here to do and do it at the best of my ability, with integrity, and with honesty. Some of these songs, man, I'm so scared to put them out because they too raw. It get raw in real life. Real life gets so raw, man. I've been learning that lately, man. It's unforgiving and it gets raw and uncut. Like you couldn't pen a script to even match, people's lives and what they're actually dealing with and going through daily. You can't come up with a script that'll rival that, man. Real life is stranger than fiction. And it's a lot of things that I'm gonna keep off of the podcast, but just know, man, just know, it get crazy, but we keep on, we keep on pursuing and we keep on going after our goals. That's why I'm doing this podcast. This is one of my goals. And y'all get to see it. You get to be right here with me. And you know, I'm still warming up. I'm learning a lot. I got a lot to learn. You know what I'm saying? And just trying out different sets. You see, I got a different type of layout this show, and move my lights around a few times, just catching a different vibe. I got a few different locations I can go to, but I'm just filling it out, filling it out. And most of the time, if y'all have anything or any topics that you would like me to speak on, man, put it down in the comments. You know, when this thing goes up live, comment on something. If you know me and you love me, say what's up. I'm still the same guy. You'll still see me at the grocery store in my flip flops. It's all good. Who I ain't got nobody to put on no show for, put on no front for. I'm too old for that. Man, you see this white? I don't care about none of that. You know, I got a bunch of church people that love me and know me personally. Out of respect to them, I try to keep my cussing or vulgar language to a minimum because they may want to watch this. They don't want to hear me talking too wild. I do get wild. I do got a potty mouth from time to time, but I try to keep it to a minimum. Just keep it respectable so everybody can actually enjoy the podcast, and I feel like he's cussing, he's talking. You know, I'm trying to look out for everybody, man, and those prayers got me through. So, a lot of what I be doing is out of love and respect, man, for the people that's really putting on for me, man. And that's a small glimpse, into my life and who I am and where I've been and stuff like that. And it gets deeper. I ain't just rambling. It gets deeper. It gets way deeper. You know, I could talk about the time where we opened up for Alicia Keys, and I had to sing a solo in front of what was it, 25,000 people. We could talk about the time I had to sing a solo on stage when we opened up for Outkast. I could talk about the time. This all as a background singer. I wasn't the star. I was somebody standing in the back, down on the ground, singing background. But I knew my position and I played my position, and I got to see a lot. Whole summer tour with Jay-Z. You know, that's the first time I ever seen Real Diamonds on somebody's neck dancing. I said, "Wow!" Standing on stage while Jay-Z performed all his hits and classics, and it was just different, man. It's very, very inspiring. And so I be feeling like, man, I don't know if I ever be able to stop pursuing music and doing music, and not necessarily for the clout, but just because I've seen so many heights. I've seen where it could go. Like, if I'm able to take care of my kids and my family, I'm doing music and podcasting and these different, endeavors. Like, I'm into everything. I want to be into everything. I don't know where that's coming from. Like, I wanted to get into podcasting, learn everything about it. I wanted to do music and record. I, learned everything about that. I wanted to produce, learn everything about that. I want to do shows and promote because it's a necessity. When you're an artist, you got to be able to put on the show, right? Like, and I've seen some major dope shows. So it's like I want my show to be like that too. I mean, I can't quite afford it, a lot of this stuff, but God is making a way. You know, if you see this and you want me at your show, tap in Billboard Bear 209 at yahoo.com or hit me on any of the socials, Billboard Bear 209. I will pull up to your city. Like, I actually have a singing telegram this week. I got a call. I'm not gonna disclose who it is because I don't think they want their name all splashed around everywhere. But a brother gave me a call and said, "Hey man, you still doing telegrams?" Yes, I still do singing telegrams. I will pull up in any location close by my city and try to sing the doors off. And they like, why you doing that? Who do you think you are? I'm the only guy doing it in my area, in my city, the way I do it. And I've been doing it for years. You know how many times the homies called me, man, Barry, you gotta come over here, bro, and sing. I done messed up, man. You gotta sing that song to her, bro. And she gotta know I still love her, man. You gotta come through for your boy. And I'll pull up. That's how this all started, man. One of my partners got into it, with his girlfriend or his wife, whatever. And he wanted to tell her that he still loved her, the same way he always did. And so he needed somebody that can convey that, to her. And it was beautiful, man. And when I seen them hug and embrace and come back together, that let me know, man, I'm gonna be doing that. I want to see that, man. I want to see people in love and people, be able to express that to each other, man. That's a beautiful thing as an artist. If you can help, help facilitate that. That's what, R&B singing is all about, soul and connecting souls and helping souls be connected and, experience stuff, man. So I've been rambling for a long time now. I know y'all probably didn't even watch the whole thing. I hope you did. But I just wanted to take a moment just to talk about me, talk about who I am, where I come from, and my goals, man. And just so you know who you listening to or who you subscribing to, if you haven't, hit the like and subscribe and share it, man. Share it on one of your pages. Share it somewhere. Share it with 10 people, man. It's free. It don't cost you nothing about 1 minute of lost scrolling time. Share it. Help a brother out. You don't never know. You never know. I might help you out somewhere. But man, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all just for tapping in with me. It's been 30 minutes. The shows are getting longer and longer and longer. It's getting longer and longer every day, man. But it's good. I do have, like I said in the last show, I do have a list of people that I will be interviewing. You know what I'm saying? And I really wanted to be nice, so I'm taking my time and putting together the actual production, for these interviews. You know what I'm saying? And making sure I ask good questions. Because we ain't just sitting in front of the camera. Like the people that I got, they awesome, man. And some people I look up to. And so, my producer, Teak, is one of them. Look his name up, Hallway Productions. He's gonna be one of these next upcoming interviews. And I got I got a rabbit in my hat, man. I got an ace card in my top pocket. When I pull that ace card out, y'all gonna know. Cause it might be a world premiere on that interview. But man, we getting it together and we continuing on. Consistency is key. Support is key. You know what I mean? And staying focused is key. I love y'all. Hope y'all having a beautiful week. And I'll see you soon, man. I'll see you soon. Peace out from the Bear Trap Podcast. Love you guys.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The Bear Trap Podcast. Here we like to talk about music, news, and entertainment. But most importantly, we like to talk about life. So get yourself ready, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get yourself ready, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So get yourself ready, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get yourself ready, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.